Hey guys, so today we're going to do the unboxing and overview of a very special digital audio player or DAP. So this is the Oriolus DPS-L2. This is a pretty unique digital audio player for many reasons, but first let's go over the background of this company. Oriolus is a Japanese audio company that is mostly well known for making in-ear monitors. So the audiophile community will know about Oriolus. Of course, most people who are not audiophiles will not know about them. Yeah, this is somewhat of a special product for them because mostly they make it IEMs or in-ear monitors. The most popular, I wouldn't say most popular, I should say the most famous in-ear monitor that they make is called the Traily. The Traily is a $6,000 IEM that came out in 2018. It was probably the most expensive IEM on the market, or one of the most expensive IEMs on the market for sure. I think maybe only the Bravos were more expensive at the time. But yeah, back in 2018, they came out with the Traily, $6,000 IEM, and still is one of the most expensive IEMs on the market today. And that is probably what they're most famous for. It's kind of a legendary in-ear monitor, mostly well known for the vocals and the mids on those, because I have tried the Traily before. One of the people in my audio group has it, and it is a very it's a very nice in-ear monitor. Not necessarily worth the price, but still very, very interesting because it does focus on the mids and the vocals a lot. But anyways, that is their most well-known product. They made a digital audio player. This is somewhat of a unique product for them because they usually don't make this kind of stuff. So this was limited to 999 units. And it's very limited, but also what makes it special is the form factor. You guys will see that is essentially it's based on an old school Sony Walkman form factor, like a cassette Walkman. I'm gonna take a look. Yeah, this is the original box for it, serial number 209. Yeah, so it is limited edition. I can go over the specs for this. It's full aluminum body, and blue and silver is kind of a throwback to the Sony Walkman, the original one. 2.4-inch IPS screen. The DAC inside is the ES9038 Pro from ESS Sabre. That was the flagship ESS Sabre DAC back in 2021, I think, when this was released. OPA 1612 op amp. And actually what makes this interesting is it also has two 3.5-inch jacks in addition to a 4.4. And it doesn't say output power exactly. I guess we'll have to test that, but I wouldn't say that it's very powerful. Like, I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere maybe similar to like the Sony Walkman players, maybe like around like 400 milliwatts, I'm guessing, max, or 500, but we'll see. Anyways, let's take a look here. Okay, digital audio player DPS-12. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, very, very nice. Ooh, this is really nice, solid feeling. Definitely full aluminum body. I know the form factor is very, very... This is the main selling point of this player, honestly, is the form factor. Because look at it. It's like a vintage Sony Walkman, right? It's like that. Actually, the very first Sony Walkman that was released kind of have like the blue and silver color. These days, you see brands like FiO really taking advantage of that with the Echo Mini and the disc, right? Really taking advantage of the old school Walkman and Discman form factor. People kind of have the retro look, right? But this, of course, being definitely more of a higher end take on that. I mean, the Echo Mini tries to get this as well, but that was only like a $50, $60 player. This retails for $2,200 US. I got it for much cheaper, actually. I found it on HeadFi from a pretty great seller that I got to know personally. He sold it to me for $700 US, so pretty good discount from the original retail price. And also, it's fairly rare to find. You know, 999 units made, but you rarely see these up for sale. So pretty cool. And only comes with a USB-A to USB-C cable here. I'm not sure if this is original. They might have come with more accessories, but anyways, not too much in the box, but maybe because I got the second hand. The original may have come with more stuff. But yeah, let's take a look at the Oriolus DPS-12. The main reason I got this is basically I'm a collector of electronics, as you guys know who watch my channel, and I love to collect digital audio players as well. And the Oriolus DPS-12 has always been on my mind. It is one of the most unique looking digital audio players because it is like really trying to get the form factor of the Sony Walkmans, right? So you guys can see like the retro appearance here, harkening back to the very first Sony Walkman. And the buttons too, they have all the buttons and everything is kind of aligned just to make it operate like a retro Sony Walkman. Now, be assured that this is not like a cassette player. It looks like a cassette player and it looks like a vintage Sony Walkman, but it actually is a full-fledged digital audio player. So it doesn't play cassettes or anything, even though it looks like it. But yeah, the buttons here, wow. I mean, it's just very, very unique looking. So yeah, let's go over what this has. So this has a 2.4 inch display right here, and I believe you can open up this section right here. So you can actually open it up. And yeah, here's the full 2.4 inch display here, where you have buttons for menu. You guys can't get a closer look. Menu, return, and then on this side you have previous, next, and enter. It's not going to be, in terms of the ergonomics and everything, it's not going to be as good as a modern digital audio player with like buttons on the side and stuff and an analog volume dial, because this is really trying to fit all this inside of this vintage Walkman form factor, right? So yeah, in the 2.4 inch IPS display here. But yeah, if you want to operate the different music controls in here, you'll have to actually open up the little cassette lid here and do it from here. But very, very cool, right? Because it actually does open up to reveal this full 2.4 inch display. And then the actual form factor itself, yeah, it's just a little bit smaller than a vintage Walkman. Right? A vintage Walkman is bigger. I think this is 20% smaller than the actual vintage Walkman. But still, like, you can hold it in your hand like this. It's still going to be thick, but yeah, I mean, a lot of digital audio players these days are actually on this thicker side, so it's okay. It's mostly for the retro form factor. Then you look on the left side here. So you get high gain and low gain. Again, I'm not sure exactly what the specs are for the power output, but it should be enough to drive most in-ear monitors, and let's just say more sensitive full-size headphones should be fine with this. Don't see why they wouldn't. And then got serial number. It is limited edition, so this one is number 209. It has Bluetooth as well. Now, if I look at the Bluetooth support here, actually I'm not sure which Bluetooth version this is. Let me see if I can find a bit more information on that. It just says Bluetooth 4.0. It doesn't say whether it supports LDAC, aptX, or anything. It just says Bluetooth 4.0. Okay. Well, it's not the latest version of Bluetooth, but it should be fine. I mean, it has Bluetooth, which is actually surprising in itself, given the retro appearance. On the bottom side here, you have a micro SD card slot, which is already inserted here right now. And then on top here, you have the jacks. Hotline, I think this is a mute button, I believe. It mutes the sound. So I think this is just a kind of a throwback button because the original Walkmans had it. But I believe on this player, all it does is kind of mute the sound. Yeah, hotline mute key. So all it does is mute the sound. But they put it here because, like, I think the original vintage Walkmans had it. Not really so useful because you can just pause the song instead, right? But oh well. Dual 3.5 millimeter headphone jack is very interesting. Not a lot of players have this. From what I can remember, what other player had it? The dual 3.5. I think Marshall London phone, I think, had it. What other player would have it? That's not really a digital audio player per se, but back in 2015 or 2016, Marshall Amplification released a phone called the Marshall London. Had pretty good speakers and actually had dual 3.5 headphone jacks. I don't know many other digital audio players that would have it, honestly. It's pretty unique. This is so that you and a friend can share music. So yeah, most of the time, you know, you carry a digital audio player, you're the only one that can hear it. But if you have like a significant other or a friend that wants to listen to music with you, plug in their headphones too, and you can listen to the same music. Really, really cool feature. Unique to this, actually. And the 4.4 millimeter balanced, which makes sense. That makes it compatible with most modern IEMs and balanced headphones, you know, like with the cables. So most cables now you get with high-end headphones and IEMs are going to have balanced 4.4. So that's really convenient. And then on this side as well, yeah, you got this is the previous track, this is next track, and this is play pause, I believe. And actually this is actually really, really cool because it operates just like a vintage Walkman. This is a power button, of course, right? But yeah, the previous song, next song, But then the play pause, the way it works is that, yeah, when you play it, it kind of sticks in like this, just like a vintage Walkman. When you press play, sticks in when the cassette's playing, right? And then if you want to stop it, you press this, which is basically essentially the same as pause. You stop it and it comes back up. Really, really cool how they implemented this. Yeah. Usually you just have a play pause on most digital audio players, but this one's like play and then pause. It's like very, very analog and tactile feeling with the textured, yeah, buttons and everything. Really cool. Analog volume controls here. You have separate volume knobs for the left channel and right channel right here. Also very, very unique. I don't know any other digital audio player that does it like this. Of course, this is a throwback to the vintage Walkman as well, but being able to adjust the left and right channel separately like this, really cool. And it's everything's very analog feeling. I love it. Just so unique. No other digital audio players like that. And of course, USB-C, which makes it also a bit more modern too. Then on the back, made in China and designed by Rayo Sound, who is actually, I believe Oriolus, the company, like it's a Japanese company, but Rayo Sound is the one that actually, like I think they have a Chinese branch as well, and then Rayo Sound's the one that actually designs it and I guess manufactures it, but the actual company itself is headquartered in Tokyo. So you basically, yeah, it's a Japanese company, but with a lot of Chinese ties, I think. So anyways, really, really cool player. So yeah, I'm gonna fire it up. So you turn it on here. Yeah, DPS-12, here we go. This is the display. Wonder how many hours of battery life do we get on this thing. That's also something that it doesn't really say, does it? Yeah, I can't really see much information about the battery. Oh, it's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So that's a pretty decent battery size for digital audio player, but I'm not sure exactly how long it lasts. I'm not sure. But I can say that the screen is not, not super high resolution or anything. It's not that big, so it shouldn't be taking up too much battery. Okay, oops. Okay, so here is the navigation here, music browser, and we can kind of navigate like this, right? This being very analog-ish. So the menu is going to give us our settings here. Update media auto. When we put in the microSD, digital filter slow decay, we can change that to, can we change that? Oh, we can change that to slow decay or sharp decay. The only two options there. Yeah, I'll change it to slow decay. DSD gain, we can change that if you want. I don't really listen to much DSDs. DSD output mode, can change that DOP or D2P. I don't know too much what that means. Equalizer, you can turn the EQ on. And it does have a 10-band EQ here, which is like, that's pretty much standard for digital audio players. It's nice that it has that. But yeah, you can turn different EQs here: custom, metal, sentimental, vocal, dance, pop, jazz. Yep. So it has your nice, decent 10-band EQ here. And then let's go back. Return, actually. Yeah, you can't just press menu. You got to press return. Play mode. I guess this is sequential, or maybe this is sequential, and then that one was like shuffle. No, that's okay. So anyways, they have a shuffle. I think this is a repeat, and then this is sequential, I think, and they have a repeat once. Okay. Breakpoint play. What's that? Gapless play. Oh, it does have gapless. That's cool. Again, something that the File Echo Mini does not have. Gapless playback. So that has that. Channel balance, which you can change via analog controls actually with the channel balance. So that's not something you can, like most digital audio players, you do that in the settings, but here you actually have analog controls for the channel balance. Okay, so yeah, that was the settings. And the menu is basically settings. And then Bluetooth settings here. Yeah, I can turn Bluetooth on. Again, I don't think there's support for LDAC or aptX, but just 4.0 is all it says. System settings, language, USB mode. You can change it to USB DAC, of course, or just regular USB media mode. Brightness, backlight time, folder skip, car mode is interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure how that one works, but I guess you can operate it hands-free in car mode somehow. Sleep off is like 10 minutes, and then sleep, you can change that. Off timer, format the card, reset to factory, firmware update. And about me. Okay, let's see, what is the about me here? And to tell you the firmware version 1.3. Okay. Ooh, it's actually powered by Hibi Music. So it's actually got Hibi or Hibi OS inside of here. Oh, that's cool. It's a very popular operating system for some players. And I do have a Hibi DAP as well, so I do like the operating system for that. Music settings. This is just the menu is basically music settings. And then music browser. So I do have some stuff on the card here. So I got some jazz music here already preloaded. Very cool. So this is browsing by folder, right? OTG. Okay, you can do OTG, update the music library. My music. This is so basically. Yeah, so music browser is just browsing the folders, and then my music is going to browse by album, artist, genre, favorites, playlist. Okay, so let's just check artist. That's something I do often. And let's go Bill Evans. So that's right here. Portrait and Jazz. I do have this on vinyl, actually. That's a good album. Okay, so let's check Witchcraft, Flack. And yeah, this is what the music player looks like. It emulates like a vintage cassette, right? This is trying to emulate a Sony Walkman player, right? So it has to emulate the cassette interface as well. Witchcraft and total time. FLAC 44.1, 16 bits. You see the sample rate and resolution, everything inside of there, right? You can previous or next to try to change the songs. I think it should also work when you use these buttons up here. Yep. So change the songs. You can use it up there. Okay. Well, let's start playing a song. We'll press play here, and it starts spinning. Yeah. So you'll see the wheels start spinning. I mean, the cassette wheels start spinning, and it looks just like you're playing a cassette, which is super cool. And then you can stop it or pause it by doing this, right? And then you can play it again. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. And if you want to see the full display, just open it up, and then you have the full controls right here. That is really cool. Yeah. Oh man. It's just everything's just done so analog using these controls, but of course it's still a modern digital audio player, right? Really, really cool. This music player is very basic. It will not tell you a lot of other stuff like lyrics or something, but I mean, yeah, actually maybe it does. You can add it to playlist and stuff. So you can go to menu. If you select menu from here, then you can change like basically how you're playing it back, sequential, shuffle, repeat. You can add it to favorites here, add it to a playlist, to delete. You can do all that there. Yeah, very cool. Okay. So yeah, it's like you're handling it like a vintage Walkman, right? It's like, hey, you want to go to next song? You just press this. Of course, you can't do this on an actual cassette player, right? But here you can, right? Go to next song, previous song, and then just press play here. Yeah, and then it'll start spinning. And then you just press stop here. Stop. Wow, just really cool how that works, right? Having all these analog controls here as well, like having this depress in, and then this is really, really cool. It's yeah, this is pretty much like, I would say, if you guys are looking for the premium version of the FiiO Echo Mini. I know FiiO is actually coming out with a more premium version of the Echo Mini called just the Echo, I believe, and it is going to be like a full aluminum chassis and stuff. But this is really the premium version, right? With the full analog controls and everything. That all work just like a vintage Sony Walkman, and has the flagship ESS Saber DAC inside of it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the interface and the overview of the device itself. Now I'm gonna listen to it. The ES9038 Pro inside of this thing, I've had some experience with that because I listened to the Aston Kern SE100 back a couple years back, and it had the same chip. But of course they might have implemented it differently here, right? It might have been more, I'm guessing how Oriolus implements this one is like it's going to be like more analog sounding, like it sounds like a vintage cassette player or Walkman or something. So I mean, they can implement it like that, right? The Aston Kern implementation is always going to be very neutral and detailed because that's the Aston Kern house sound. But Oriolus, yeah, we'll see how they implemented it. In fact, this is the only digital audio player that they ever made. It's not like they made anything else. So I'm very curious to see how this sounds like. And they even label this listen, which is the play button, review or rewind. That's the previous track, I guess, and fast forward to Q. That's the next track. Yeah, just really cool player. Okay, anyways, very excited about this one. Definitely really cool to add to the collection of digital audio players. I mean, what can be more collectible than a vintage Walkman looking player that has all the analog controls and everything, but has the internals of a more modern digital music player. So very cool, and it's limited on top of that. So definitely very cool for the collection. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to listen to it and tell you guys what I think, and then we can compare it to some of the other digital audio players I got. So stay tuned. By the way, I forgot to show you guys something on the UI. So when you're in this list view here, you can press menu and you can add it to your favorites from this playlist, or yeah, this list view. So if you're ever scrolling through your songs, even on this list view, you can add them to your favorites, just like that. Yeah. And if you keep pressing return, how do you get back to the song that you just played? So right now I have this Beyond song playing. This is a great Hong Kong band. You see that that Beyond Chinese song playing, right? So you press return once more when you're in this top level view, and you'll go back to the song that's playing. So that's basically how you get back. It's like if you press return here, generally on other digital audio players, you'll have like a shortcut to get back into the music player. But for this one, of course, if you press enter on the song itself, you'll go in here. But yeah, if you're on like a different view here, yeah, you're still going to need to keep pressing return and return and return to get back. There's no like shortcut to get back into this cassette music player view. So it takes a couple more button presses to get back here. Alright, so how do I think about the sound quality? Overall, it's very good. It's an ES9038 Pro DAC. That's a flagship DAC of ESS Sabre at the time this was released in 2021. And it sounds very neutral and detailed, I would say. So pretty much that's what I kind of expected from the ESS Sabre DAC, because that's been my experience with the 9038 Pro when I had it on my Aston Kern SE100 back in the day. Like, that was back like 4 or 5 years ago. I tried that one out, and it doesn't have the quite as much neutrality as the Aston Kern does, because that's kind of their house sound. And I know like Aston Kern definitely has its fans, but for me, like all the music players that I've tried, the SR15, SC100, SC300, and SP3000M, all of them have this neutral analytical type sound to it that I personally don't find quite that musical. So I prefer to have something a little bit more dynamic, warm sounding, a little bit more musical sounding, for lack of a better word. And yeah, the DPS-12 I thought could give me that, because, you know, it's got this nice retro look to it, right? It looks like a vintage Sony Walkman, so you'd think it sounds a little bit more warm and analog and musical, but to be honest, it's on the more modern sound. Like, it's got a detailed and maybe not exactly as analytical as Aston and Kern, but it's leaning there. Very detailed and leaning neutral. It doesn't sound like that musical to me as I expected. So honestly, I think that Oriolus probably should have chose a different chip for this player. I know at the time it was hard to use an AKM chip. That's probably why, because this came out in 2021. That was about the time after Asahi Kasei had this factory fire, and it was hard for digital audio player manufacturers to find the AKM chips, especially the 4497. That was their flagship at the time. It was hard to find those chips because, yeah, they had a factory fire at that time. I understand that. That's probably why they went with the ES9038 Pro here. But honestly, I felt like an AKM chip would have been a better fit. So generally speaking, Asahi Kasei, the other big DAC manufacturer here, yeah, they make a range of good chips that I think are more warm and analog sounding in general compared to ESS chips, which tend to be a little bit more analytical and neutral. So especially in this generation, the ES9038 compared to something like the AK4497, even the AK4493 with the Velvet sound, and AK4490, I think those would have been better picks, because those do sound a little bit more warm and analog sounding compared to the ESS Sabre chip here. So I think, yeah, if not for that factory fire, maybe that's why. But I felt like the S903 Pro probably wasn't the best match for this kind of player. I mean, this looks very retro, and you're expecting a more warm analog musical sound out of it, at least to the level of a Sony Walkman DAP. But it doesn't. It has a more modern sound, a more analytical, neutral sound to it, which is not bad if you're looking for that. But I kind of expected something a little bit more, you know, warmer and neutral and analog sounding because of the appearance and the way it's marketed, right? So yeah, I wouldn't say it's quite as neutral as an acetone current player, those are very, very neutral and analytical sounding, but it's almost there, you know. It is quite focusing more on the details and just being fairly like flat sounding, I would say. So yeah, if you guys are looking for that, this is good. It's actually a very modern sounding digital audio player. It doesn't sound very retro despite the appearance, which is kind of a disappointment for me. I was hoping for that. Yeah, I think that they probably should have gone with an AKM chip here, but maybe because of the factory fire at the time, the 2021, I don't think it was hard to use AKM chips in 2021. Yeah, that's probably why they went with this. But yeah, ideally, I think even a 4493 would have been nice if they can't get a 4497. But yeah, compared to something like talking about 4497, I do have a few DAPs here with that. So I have the KN Innate. This has two AK4497s in it. Of course, this one also has a tube output. So this one definitely sounds more warmer and more analog sounding compared to the DPS-12. Another player I have that's 4497 is actually my daily driver, the Low 2 Pod Gold Touch. Yeah, this one also sounds more like this one also kind of reference sounding compared to the KN, for example, but definitely compared to the Oriolus and the AK players, it still sounds a little bit more musical, more dynamic and exciting, a little bit more engaging, I would say. So both of these 4497 DAPs, yeah, they sound a little bit more musical and engaging compared to the DPS-12. If you want to go further back, I have the K1 Planu S here with a PCM 1792A from Burr Brown. Also very musical sounding, warmer. All these are, the low 2 is not necessarily warmer, but it does sound a little bit more dynamic. But KN, especially because of the tube output, more warmer sounding. The PCM DAC inside of here, the Burr Brown, yeah, this is a more older DAC, but it also sounds fairly warm as well to me, and musical sounding, for lack of a better word. And then of course the Sony Walkman as well, the WM1A with the S-Master HX DAC inside of here, the Sony proprietary. They make their DAPs sound very musical and warm and engaging as well. So any of these actually sound a little bit more closer, I think, to the retro vibe that the DPS-12 is trying to portray here. So I think that overall, I love the design aesthetic of the DPS-L2. It really just looks like, yeah, the premium version of the Fio Echo Mini. You know, you guys have the Fio Echo Mini, right? It's so popular and everyone has it for the cool retro aesthetic of the cassette player, but this really is kind of like the premium upgrade, right? It actually has all these analog buttons and everything. So I love the design, but the sound itself is very modern, which is a little bit surprising to me. I kind of expected the sound to be, you think it sound like, you know, a little bit more warm and analog sounding like these players here, but no, it's actually yeah, more on the leaning definitely more on the reference neutral side, and very detailed. So this is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, this is a very good DAC inside of it. Especially if you're planning to listen to music like without much tonality, like without much coloration on the tonality, then this is a pretty good one. You know, ES9038 Pro is generally very neutral and analytical reference sounding, doesn't color your tone too much. So the tonality is very uncolored with this DAP, and it's a very modern sounding digital audio player despite the appearance. But I do wish, because of the way they market this and the design, that they could have gone with a more warmer musical sound. So yeah, the Sony Walkman, the older PCM 1792 Burr Brown, or either 4497. But I understand that probably because of the supply constraints at the time, it was hard to source a 4497 at the time probably, and Burr Brown PCM 1792 honestly is not that easy to find either, because it's kind of out of production too. This Texas Instruments actually, but it's out of production too. Walkman, obviously, that's Sony's proprietary DAC, so they can't get access to that. So I guess they didn't have much choice but to use the ESS Sabre DAC. But yeah, maybe it just kind of came out at the wrong time then. I feel like, yeah, if you just waited a bit longer, then AKM restarted their factory, they have the 4499, then they could have used a 4499, you know, or they could have gone for even a lower chip like the 4493, which still sounds fairly warm and analog. So I don't know, I feel like this is kind of like overall it's a good player, you know. $2,200, yes, I know it's expensive and everything, but it is a limited edition player and there's nothing else like it on the market. I love the design, the controls and everything is, I know it can be annoying to actually use this as a daily driver because let's be honest, the UI here isn't exactly the best UI, you know, if you guys are looking for streaming, if you guys are looking for like all the niceties, I guess, that you find on Android apps and the fast responsiveness that you find on Android apps, you're not going to get it here. No touch screen, you know, so you're missing all that. But that's really not what this device is trying to be. It's trying to be a throwback, you know, kind of device. And for that, I think the design itself, the UI is fine. Definitely, yeah, it's a little bit harder to work with than your typical Android DAP. So the UI is definitely not the best for that, but hey, that's not what they were going for with this thing. I'm fine with that. It's just I wish the sound could have been more warmer and more analog sounding. It ends up being fairly modern sounding, which is at odds with how this player is designed and marketed. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of my disappointment there. I wish it could have been like any of these 4 players, you know. Even though the low 2 is like the most reference sounding out of these, but even that's like a more musical and engaging, I would say, compared to the Oriolus. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Yes, I do have a lot of digital audio players here in my collection. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the Oriolus DPS-L2, and I will have a sound comparison test coming up so you guys can kind of hear the differences between all these, because I did compare them against all these. I do find like any of these 4 a little bit more musical, warmer, and engaging sounding compared to the DPS-L2, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll have a sound test coming up comparing them with the same tracks. So, oh, also one more thing, the power output of this thing. So actually, again, I don't know the exact power specs of this, but I tried this with both full-size headphones and IEMs, and I found this to be quite powerful, actually. So I actually had to switch it on low gain for my IEMs, and then, yeah, even on low gain, I think I have it set to about here to drive my IEMs, and that was plenty loud enough. Like, yeah, and this is on low gain. So yeah, I think that I'm guessing it's around 500 milliwatts ish. I'm just guessing. So that's plenty enough power. Now it's not going to be like, it's not going to be the most powerful player out there. It's not going to be competing with the Nepo N2, which is 2.5 watts. It's not going to be competing with you know, some of the Aston current players with 1 watt plus of output, or the Onyx stuff out there. Yeah, even my XM2 I think has more power than this, of course, but anyways, it's enough to drive most headphones out there, is what I'm saying. So definitely, yeah, even though I don't know exactly the power output, but it definitely has enough. So unless you're driving like, you know, really, really hard to drive planar magnetics like a Sazvara or something. So unless you have one of those. But yeah, overall I think the power output should be enough for most stuff out there. IEMs or full-size headphones. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Stay tuned for the sound comparison test. Yeah, and let me know what you guys get this player or not. Definitely for the retro design aesthetic, it's really, really cool. Actually, I forgot to mention one other digital audio player I have that's actually warmer and more analog sounding than all of these, and that's the Hibi or Hibi RS6 that I have. Yeah, I've had this one for a couple years. It has an R2R DAC inside of it, and as a lot of audiophiles may or may not know, the R2R DAC sounds fairly analog and warm as well. And the RS6 definitely exemplifies this, especially in the bass. The bass especially sounds very warm. So yeah, this is actually one of the warmest DAPs I've ever heard. So this one is like even warmer than any of the other ones. So yeah, of course the DPS-12 does not sound as warm or analog as the RS6 either. So yeah, basically all these other DAPs around it in my collection sound more warmer and analog compared to the DPS-12, which is kind of ironic. You know, you look at this collection, you think, oh, this one must be the one that's the most warm and analog sounding, right? I mean, just look at it. But no, it's actually ending up being the most neutral reference sounding out of all of them. It's the most, I guess you can say it's very detailed as well because of that. But hey, it's, yeah, I think in terms of just technicalities, I think that DPS-L2 is really up there. I think out of all these, it actually probably has the best technicalities, which is honestly not too surprising considering like these other digital audio players around here, their DAC implementations are not that modern. This came out 2018, 2016, and 2016 as well. And this is 2021, but it's an R2R DAC, which is an older implementation with less technicalities actually, because of the way they implemented it. So actually this is the most technical sounding out of all these, and the most modern sounding with the lowest noise and distortion out of all these, which is ironic, you know. Like you look at this collection, you think this must be, you know, the the most retro sounding, but nope. It's actually the most technical sounding and least distortion out of all these. So very, very interesting. Yeah, I guess that Oriolus could have gone with an R2R DAC as well. Like if they implemented an R2R DAC, generally R2R DACs, they are implemented to be very warm and analog sounding as well, very musical sounding. So if they went with that, I think it would have been closer to what this player design aesthetic entails. But I think that also would have driven up the price a lot too. Because let's face it, R2R DACs, yeah, especially like if you're talking about the R2R DACs on the market right now, like Hibby and Hibby was one of the first that went with their own custom R2R DAC implementation. Cayenne actually has their own as well. With the N62, I believe they had an R2R DAC implementation. But not too many digital audio players have it, and it takes a lot of R&D to implement your own R2R. So that would have driven up the cost a lot for this. So I kind of understand, okay, that's why they didn't go R2R. R2R would have been ideal for this, though, to get that retro warm type of sound out of it. Yeah. You know, with this being Oriolus' only DAP, you know, I can understand why they went with off-the-shelf with the ES9038 Pro for that. They're not really in the DAP market, basically. This is kind of a limited one-off type of thing. They're an IEM maker, so they stick to IEMs generally speaking. So yeah, I get that. Basically, I just wish that they put like a different DAC inside of this. Like the ES9038 Pro, yes, it's a very good DAC. It sounds very clean and detailed and analytical, very modern sounding. But you know, for something like this, just wish they used like an AKM 4490 or 4493 or an R2R DAC would have definitely gone a good way to making this sound a little bit more, you know, like vintage, retro, analog. Just something closer to what this player is portraying, basically. Anyways, yeah, I think that's the only thing about this one. I love the retro design and everything. Just wish that they put a more suitable DAC inside of it to get that retro warm analog sound instead of this very modern type of sound out of it. So anyways, that's it guys. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of the DPS-L2 in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.
The sun is setting and you're right here by my side, and the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide moonlight in your hands till the night I held you. The sun is setting and you're right here by my side, and the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide more in your hands till the night I held The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide more in your hands till the night I held The sun is setting, and you're right here by my side. And the movie is playing, but we won't be watching tonight. Every look, every touch makes me wanna give you my heart. I've been crushing on you, baby. Stay right where you are, 'cause I never knew you could hide more in your hands till the night I held
Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see you. Ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see you. Ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see you. Ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life.